Welcome back, guys. Time for another volume video for you. Um, Now we're going to be looking at volumes of pyramids, specifically square bottom pyramids. So let's jump right into it. So you'll notice here, again, you've seen pyramids before, like the pyramids of Giza, Chichen Itza. This is a shape that's pretty, I mean, you recognize it if you saw it. So if you've watched the video on cones, which if you haven't, I'd recommend you pause and take care of that now. Um, the formula here is very similar. In fact, let's get that down. Sorry, it's going to take a second for Screen Sketch to get ready. Boom, there we go. Now, for volume here, let me pull this up. Volume of a pyramid is equal to 1/3 times length times width times height, right? Very straightforward. Now, I know length and width and height can be very arbitrary in these problems, but luckily we have this information, right? When we're looking at a pyramid, the first thing I like to identify is the height, right? Let me switch this right here, height. The height, very similar, just like the cone, we're going from the base of the shape. Notice the base of the shape is our square. We called it a square bottom pyramid. To the point where they all select or they all meet together. This length here is our height from the base to the top. Remember, just like in the cone, it doesn't need to necessarily be going up and down. It just needs to be going from the base to the top. That is our height, 9. Now, the length and the width, these two are actually arbitrary, right? Length, I'm going to call this side the length here, and I'm going to call this the width. If you wanted to have these switch, that's okay. These two, just so you remember, length and width, they come from the square. They come from the square, right? They come from, these are the dimensions of the base. Boom. So we can fill that in as the volume of our pyramid is equal to 1/3 times 6 times 4 times 9. Now, this you can very easily just plug directly into or substitute into your calculator, or you could do the math piece by piece. Either way, it does not matter. This gets us, I used the calculator and got a volume of 72. And now we need to make sure, notice our units are centimeters. And just like for volume of cones, spheres, any shape we've done so far, make sure it's in units cubed because volume takes up a space, a cubic space. All right, so make sure you get a shot of that. That kind of walks you through these steps there. And let's find, we're actually going to find another one for you guys. I had one. Uh, Back, sorry about that. I had it on my other screen. We're going to look at another example here. Now, in some cases, and I may have misspoke in the last example. Let me turn on Screen Sketch here. The pyramids we're looking at can be square based or rectangular based, and I have two of them right next to one another here. The volume is still the same. Volume of a square bottom pyramid, sorry, that's pyramid, is equal to 1/3 times length times width times height. But for a square, remember for a square bottom, the length and the width are going to be the same. So a lot of people will write out the volume to be 1/3 side squared times the height. These two formulas are exactly the same. You can use, in this case, notice the 11's in here. I'll even substitute it in here for you. Let's label our pieces first. Notice here, let's find our height. The height in this from the base to the point, 12. Here's our height. And again, just like I said in the last example, these two, the length and the width, are arbitrary, right? So we can say this volume is equal to 1/3 times 11 times 11 times 12, which is the same if we use this square bottom, because again, notice 11 and 11 are the same. 1/3 11 squared times 12. These two formulas are exactly the same. They'll give you the exact same number. This only works when it's a square, right? Notice 11 and 11. This would not work for 2 and 5 because, well, clearly that is a rectangle. This would have to be, here's our height, right? From the base, 1/3, or volume is equal to 1/3 times 5 times 2 times 5 for our height, right? This, we still put in all of the pieces. We still evaluate it the exact same way. Just keep an eye out. Well, do they tell me that these two are the same? These two lengths are the same, or do they not tell me that those two lengths are the same? But it's still the exact same process. Just work through, well, how do I fill in this volume equation? All right, guys. Well, I hope you found that helpful. Um, we're really lucky that the assignments this week aren't dreadfully difficult. Just make sure you have those formulas written down and have those practice problems kind of just off to the side so you can kind of work through them. Well, I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. I cannot wait to see you guys soon. Miss you a bunch. Catch you later.